So, another day, another week, another episode of our conversations. So
Yes,
yeah, just
good.
a quick update to people who are tuning in that we are now starting to upload this on different platforms as well. After we have the conversations here on Instagram, so it is available as a podcast on Spotify, on Anchor, on the Google podcasts, and hopefully, if we do keep putting out a lot more episodes, we should be on all of the podcasts as the platforms that are out there. It's actually
Mhm.
surprisingly easy to be on those platforms. So yeah, that's sort of a discovery that we ourselves are having. That how like like the bar or having like a threshold for putting your content out, how low it has become. So that's sort of very exciting to see. So yeah, if you guys do want
True.
to stay tuned to our conversations, you can also check us out on all those other platforms. We'll keep updating you guys about it, and yeah, hopefully
And
experiment a lot more.
and also YouTube. We are on YouTube as well.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so you will find the
Okay.
links to all of those in the description of our profile, or you can always just hit us a DM and we'll talk to you about it as well. Um, Speaking
Yes.
of how there are nowadays platforms that are decreasing the threshold for people being able to create a
Mhm.
content, I thought we'll talk about such a platform in the episode for today. A platform that has been in the news a lot, and it has been something that has just caught the fascination of people for both the right and the wrong reasons. So yeah, the platform is TikTok. So it's always sort of a controversial app. The people are like very split about it. So I thought it'll be a good thing for us to just sort of analyze it as to what the platform is, what's the good about the platform, what's the bad about the platform, and just really see what all the, the fuss is about.
Yeah. And
Before we go in,
just to get like our positions correct, Karthik
yeah,
consider himself to be
yeah,
upcoming influencer on TikTok. Uh, I'm I'm myself a newbie. I think in this episode I'll be more of a curious audience asking or pestering uh, Karthik about
cool.
what's been happening so far in the TikTok world
Yeah,
and with India. Yeah, and the ban which came in, I think last week, right?
yeah, yeah,
Was it
yeah,
last week or it was
yeah,
this week? Last week, okay.
yeah. It was
Yeah.
it was last weekend. Yeah, so pretty exciting opinions around that as well. So yeah, let you dig into that. So probably for those of you who
Hmm.
are just not fully aware of it, let me just start by introducing what TikTok as a concept is, or as a platform itself is. It's basically uh, a platform that allows people to upload a short form video, right? That's basically the function of the platform. You can upload a very short a video. You're ranging from like 5 seconds to like a minute. So that's sort of the format, and you can do anything that you want on it. It's very similar to
Hmm.
Vine, which was also a popular app, and also sort of along the same sort of ideas about having a short form of a video content. Although in Vine there was a strict 6 seconds as like a limit that you can only make 6 second videos. TikTok was a bit more evolved, a bit more flexible about that. And I think one of the big
Hmm.
ways that TikTok was just different, and I think the way it has been able to catch a fascination of so many people is because of how it evolved from a musically app. So earlier TikTok
Hmm.
had a different name. It was called the Musically. That was actually the app.
Okay.
And the idea of that app was to actually allow people to sing songs. Like you're doing like a dubbing of an existing audio. So you can actually take an
Oh,
audio
I
of an
remember.
existing like song, and you just have to like lip
Hmm.
sync it so that it feels like it's you who is singing it. So that's how the concept started. And then that sort of
Mm-hmm.
evolved into TikTok when people started to notice that, okay, it's not just about songs, but people also want to do like a lip sync on you know, on so other audio content, stuff,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like Dub Smash became a big thing, like in between. So that's sort of
Um,
uh, what TikTok was able to capitalize on. And
mm-hmm.
I feel that that was sort of a good, I would say, timing for people. So there were a lot of people, especially the young, like I would say, folks in school who really wanted to be influential on these platforms. They wanted
Mm-hmm.
like to make the content, but unlike other
Mm-hmm.
platforms, over here they didn't have to put so much of effort into coming up with something that's new. Like in other platforms, you have to have a
I
script, you
see.
need to have your own story, you want to put some effort into building it. But however, on
Mm-hmm.
TikTok, since the content is already there, you just have to like lip sync to something that's already available to you as a template, and then you just have to
Mm-hmm.
use the template, like to build something. That made the jump for a lot of people very easier to start to make videos on TikTok. So I think that's how it got
Okay, but
picked up very easily. And the way it works is sort of with the infinite scroll of a thing. So you can just keep on scrolling to video after other. So it becomes addictive in that nature where
okay.
there is always a video that is
Mm-hmm.
going, that's going to be coming in. So that's in essence
Mm-hmm.
what TikTok as a platform was. And I
But
think like
just like a
every,
small
yeah.
small question before you go ahead. These templates that you talked about, like that seems to be the core feature, right? Was it defined the by the creators or by the company? Or how much was their role in defining these kind of templates or reducing the efforts for the people?
Not that much actually. So, because the templates originally were supposed to be for just doing a lip sync on songs, right? It was never intended to be for anything other than songs. But then it
Oh, okay, okay.
became that because it was sort of the audience that actually evolved the product itself. They're like, hey, we so the way they'll put a song is they'll put in like an audio file, and they'll be like, hey, I can also look for an
Okay.
audio file of a dialogue or of a film, and I can also do a lip sync on that. So that is how it evolved. So it was basically a user, I would say, a driven thing. And what
Mm-hmm,
TikTok did
mm-hmm,
was it adapted to that very well. Like it made it very easy for you to copy a sound that somebody else is using on their like video. So if you put out a video tomorrow on TikTok, I can very
mm-hmm.
easily use the sound that you have used on your video and upload it on mine.
Okay,
So it sort of
okay, okay.
encouraged that your whole imitation stuff very well. So people could imitate it very well. But then what
Mm-hmm,
organically happened is that in imitating it, people are also being a bit of a creative in imitating it. So they'll add their own style to it. They will add their own flair to it. So everybody has
hmm.
sort of their own stick. So everybody will start introducing all of those things, like into like that. And it wasn't just
Okay, got it.
audio as a template, it was also a format as a template. So they will start making a format of a video as a template, right? So, for example, um, there would be a template of, so they'll usually say pick a song, and that song,
Mm-hmm,
and you got to do like a few things in that song. So for example, there was a template where there is a song where people will do like change their like clothes very quickly on the beat of the song.
oh,
So
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
that thing
Yeah,
became a stick. So everybody will pick that song. They
okay.
will do like a change of their wardrobe in that song, and then everybody is doing that. But
Mm-hmm,
then everybody is doing that in their own like sense. Like somebody is doing it
okay.
by doing it in sort of like a cosplay kind of a thing. So they put on all of their anime costumes, for example, and then that
Mm,
it is their thing. You'll have some
yeah.
Indian you're the creator who is going to put on all of the Indian costumes. So people will add their own stuff to it, but then it's
Mm,
very easy for you to find the templates of doing such things. on TikTok very
Mm-hmm.
easily. So people will just do that.
Okay, okay,
Also,
got
if
it.
somebody is talking about it in the comments, there was something called a wipe down as a challenge. Wipe down challenge was basically super simple. So there is a song, and you just have to go to a mirror
Mm-hmm.
and you keep doing a wipe of the mirror, and then in one frame you're doing a change of your costume, and then again it's like
Okay.
it's like you go back. So if you
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so the concept is the same, but then you can already imagine how
Mm.
everybody will do their own a little bit of something in it. There will be some people who will add who
Yeah.
will add like- who will add like humor to it. Some people will put
Mm-hmm.
like some horror stuff in it. So that's how the platform was. And
Okay.
when you observe it like that, it seems very innocent. It seems like a very good just a platform to be in. But then
Mm.
there
Yeah.
could potentially be like a dark side. I think that is a dark side to any technology, that once it becomes just say big enough, there are like the
Mm-hmm.
vulnerabilities and the dark sides that starts getting exposed. So that's sort of
Uh,
the phase we can go into. But yeah, before that, any
yeah.
like do you sort of have a sense of TikTok, like what it does and
Yeah, yeah.
what is the
Actually,
reason
now
it
I have
became
much
huge?
better sense because I was trying to compare it with, if you remember, there was something called Periscope, and then came, it stopped,
Yeah,
and then there was Vine, then it was also killed. But they all had video as a medium, but they were not so many templates as you were saying. So that seems to be one of the core drivers,
yeah,
right, for the adoption of TikTok. So yeah, that become more
yeah,
clear, like why this is working and why they didn't work, so to say. And
yeah,
yeah, just curious actually, what is the dark side? Because this seems to be very innocent entertainment kind of a platform. I
yeah,
don't know how. Can you point out like some cases,
yeah.
some scenarios where could expose it a bit more, the dark side?
Sure, I'll go. Yeah, so there is different, I would say, like levels of that. So one of the big things
Mm-hmm.
that was a propellant for TikTok being huge, and especially being huge in India, was
Mm-hmm.
everybody had a smartphone now. Everybody had access to internet very cheaply. So that also was a big thing in just propelling the option of TikTok as opposed to everything else that came before it. Because then stuff like Geo didn't
Okay.
exist, and like smartphones were not as prevalent, but
Mm-hmm.
now they were. So everybody is now constantly
Mm-hmm.
on TikTok all the time. So because
Yeah.
of that, that spread very quickly. And what it does is when it also starts to emphasize the darkness that is in the society itself, right? When you so basically when you're like you so offer people a medium to express themselves, and if they are expressing
Mm-hmm.
themselves at scale, there will be a section of people who will also express the dark stuff about themselves. So let me try to say break it down in different levels. So there is so the dark sides would be from a content perspective, as to how when you
Mm-hmm.
have a platform which is putting out content without a moderation, how that can have a bad impact on
Mm-hmm.
people.
Okay.
And the second is from a security standpoint, like the data standpoint, like what are they doing with all the data that they capture, and how is that
Mm-hmm.
handled as opposed to everything else that is out on social media. And I think the third
Mm-hmm.
thing, and probably that is in combination with the second thing, is that this is sort of the first big just a Chinese app to go out and become very internationally famous the way it did. So the connection with China and the
Mm-hmm.
way just the data and just and stuff privacy is looked upon in China, that is also something that a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people are expressing like the concerns about, and that was one of the top reasons why it was, or at least that was the public reasoning for what actually caused it to become restricted in India.
Okay.
So
Okay.
addressing the like the uh, like uh, uh, like the first one. which is just the people expressing like themselves, right? So what started to
Mm-hmm.
pop up a lot on TikTok was a lot of the templates or formats, or like the content which was not really just good in nature. There were stuff that was you know that was the homophobic, like in many ways there was a lot of stuff like stuff like misogynistic stuff. There's a whole bunch of that. Like there is a section of
Mm-hmm.
there is actually a very funny page about like the boys who uh, like who I forgot what's the page called, but yeah, basically, there is a bunch of people who are putting out TikTok videos about how they were in love and the girl, like, she betrayed them, and then they went and they slapped the girl, and then the girl is like, "Oh, actually, I was in love with you, I just didn't know." So there is a whole bunch of
Oh,
that, right? There is a big section of TikTok videos which are
okay.
openly just misogynistic in the way they are like put out. So there is a lot of that, and there isn't
Mm-hmm.
a sort of like moderation that is happening on TikTok, or at least such content is not being I would say moderated effectively. And because of that, there is
Okay.
sort of a big there is like pile of such videos that are just increasing every day, where people
Mm-hmm.
are trying to like to normalize people slapping each other. If a girl like is breaking up with a guy, then the guy is committing a suicide. There's a whole bunch of all of those kind of I would say like content, which is not really
Mm-hmm.
very good stuff, right? That's not really what that's not the like the best of the society. So there is a lot
Yeah,
of
of
that, and
course,
there
of
isn't a
course.
moderation on that. So a lot of people are
Mm-hmm.
saying that, hey, we should not allow for a platform to exist where people can spread such stuff out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that is sort of
But
opens up a debate on itself, whether TikTok is a platform where the people are the ones who are to be blamed for putting out such content, or
oh
TikTok should
yeah, yeah.
step in and do like moderation or censorship on what kind of content needs to be put out itself.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's
So
true. I mean, that's the case with almost every big platform. But I guess
yeah,
with this, the main issue was, like you said, the moderation, like who is doing, where it is being done. So who has the power of moderation, or is it being done or not? And secondly, just wanted to know, so this section of the content, was it the majority of the content, or was it crossing some threshold, or like was it more compared to, I don't know, Facebook or something, some other platforms?
I'm not able to to quantify it. I don't know how much what would was the percentage of such content it is there, but based on the fact
Okay.
that I have seen a lot of it when I scroll through like like the For You page, just the fact that I have seen
Oh,
I think I have come across a bunch of it, and I'm not on TikTok as much also. And the fact that if I'm able to
okay, okay,
like
okay.
to come across it, I feel that yeah, there is a significant amount of such content out there,
Mm-hmm.
which I
Okay.
feel is just a representation of the society. Like, so the stance that I take on it is, yeah, that there's no point blaming TikTok for it, because that's just a
Mm-hmm.
representation of what the society is. There are such people out there in your society, and
Mm-hmm.
that's why you're seeing a representation of that on TikTok. So the the
Okay.
solution is not putting a ban on TikTok for that, because such people are still going to exist, and they will still have such thoughts. So the problem needs to be
Mm-hmm.
solved in some other way, by better education for them or somehow. But I don't think it is
Understand.
the fault of TikTok. I think TikTok is more. I think such, I would say, like videos on TikTok, are more the symptoms of the problems that we have in the in the in the society.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
that
I
was
think, yeah,
one
yeah,
of
I
the reason.
completely followed. But
Yeah, but
I
that was
was more
one of the
getting into
reasons why a
the.
lot of
So-
people, yeah,
Sorry, you
no,
go
but
ahead.
that was
There's a
one of the
lag.
reasons why a lot of people were actually advocating like for a ban of TikTok, and they will always put such a videos as an example, saying that hey, all of these things are
Mm,
being promoted on TikTok, so that is why TikTok should be banned. So that was one of the big arguments, even though
okay.
that was not the reason officially stated for the ban. But a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
who sort of have a hatred towards TikTok, or they feel TikTok has a cringe stuff on it, is basically people
Mm-hmm.
who are just say referring to such content that exists on TikTok, but that's not the only
Mm-hmm.
content that exists on TikTok.
Okay, okay. Because yes, that I understand, especially with protests and all. These kind of examples are more exaggerated as well. But was this medium already kind of propagating these kind of content? That was my main question. Like the medium in the sense that having a template, relating it with music. Um, because yeah, we have seen such things in Bollywood, we have seen such things in B-grade movies. You know what I mean? Was
Yeah, yeah.
this like the medium also the culprit in a way? Not just the creators, like content creators, but
Hmm.
it had something to
No,
do
that's
with
it.
it.
That
I thought,
yeah. No, that's like an interesting, I would say, like thought to explore, because yeah, like it definitely is making it easy, like for people to express that. Like earlier, if somebody has a misogynistic viewpoint, they're not gonna
hmm,
go out and put a video out about it. But now TikTok has made
hmm,
it easier for that person to express it, right? For example, I
yeah,
remember when the Kabir Singh was out, a lot of the
hmm,
audio clips from Kabir Singh were, they were doing stuff about that on TikTok. Like, they will do like
oh,
they will do like
okay,
recreation of that and things like that.
hmm,
So yeah,
okay,
like so I feel that such people, such like the content and all of that have always existed. But yeah, like what TikTok has
hmm,
done is that it has made it easier for these people to express themselves. And that's sort of a
hmm,
side effect of allowing anybody to express themselves. You're also going to allow such
hmm,
people to express themselves. So that's sort of, I think, the price to pay for
hmm,
you having a platform that that actually allows you to express yourself, is that yeah, you're also going to
okay,
allow such
okay,
people
okay,
to express themselves. And I think that's a problem with your all social media, right? Like, people are saying should we just say ban people from
hmm,
your Twitter or your Facebook or like YouTube, is because when you're offering
yeah,
people a platform and a voice, you're also offering that to the bad people. And
yeah,
so you either now have to be selective about who you offer like voice to, or you say that we'll
hmm,
allow it to be a democratic thing, and we'll allow the audience like to decide like which is the content they want to listen to, and which is the content they want to
yeah,
pay their
yeah,
attention to as a currency.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Because
I
there are
completely
also like
agree.
like a lot of
That's
good cases of TikTok, right? So there are like really, I would say, fascinating stories. So there was, like you're like a guy who used to wash, the cars like in Bombay, and that guy used to
mm-hmm,
put out, TikTok like videos of him doing like dance every evening. So he'll put out like a TikTok video a day of him doing a
mm-hmm,
dance in the evening, and
mm-hmm.
then like his TikTok became like a viral thing, and then it got into the attention of you know Ganesh Acharya, with like Remo
Mm,
D'Souza
okay,
and all like the big like
okay.
choreographers who are out there, and then they then offered
Mm-hmm.
him like a scholarship to come and study in the dance school to
Wow.
improve like his dancing. So there are like such
Oh,
stories as well,
okay.
about somebody who didn't ever have a platform to express himself, but was just washing the
Yeah.
like cars on the, like in the road. But now all of a sudden he has a
Mm,
phone. He just has to make a video in the evening, and he can just do all
yeah.
the editing on the phone itself. There is no laptop or like software, and because of that, now
Yeah.
somebody like that has access to all the opportunities that are out there in the world. So I think in that way there
Mm,
is a net.
mm-hmm.
There is a positive of such a platform being out there. But then, yeah, that is sort of, I think,
Mm-hmm.
a price to pay when you have a platform that allows people to express themselves, that you'll also, at some point, embolden the bad people also to express themselves.
Yeah. Understood. I have like I guess, one important or last question probably about the ban itself. So, um, I understood that this ban was made citing these reasons, and it was also made quite public because of the recent tensions going on between India and China, right? Um, and
Actually, no.
yeah, I was just, no?
So so like so so like reason for the ban was not this. So like the reason for the ban was that there is like security issues with the app. So it was more on the data
Okay,
aspect of it. That's why they have actually put out a ban. So it has nothing to do with the content. So that's what, the people are the ones who are like who are talking about it. But the government has
okay,
just cited the security concerns of TikTok and all, like of the Chinese app that has been banned, is because, yeah, like,
okay.
TikTok is a Chinese company. All of the servers are going back to China. So, like any other social media app, they're also extracting all the data they possibly can with everything you post. And since it's all happening in China, is there is a perceived a notion of the fact that there is no accountability of, what's happening with the data, how is it being processed, how is it being
I
stored.
see.
And I think that's
Mm-hmm.
that's sort of the problem. That is the reason why it has been banned.
Oh, okay. Because I understand like the other apps, the bigger one I know is the UC browser, like that's there with all the light mobile phones, smartphones, and
Yeah.
I can understand that it has a lot of sensitive data, which could go. But with TikTok, do you think is that a sensitive data or is it valuable data for for anything?
um it could be, right, like I think, but I honestly uh, feel that TikTok is not taking any more of the data than any other app out there is doing. Like Facebook is
Mm-hmm.
taking your data, Instagram is taking it. I think TikTok is also definitely, it is making use of your data. It is doing a lot more with it, cause of the things that they can just do with the data is a lot more, yeah, relaxed,
Oh.
like in China.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm.
I feel that, yeah, I feel that the people who use TikTok are totally okay with it. Like they do not just care about the fact that a video that they upload is going to, like be seen by somebody in, like in China. And I think that's what
Okay.
it should be. At the end of the day, I think, apps should just inform the users, hey, this is all the data that we'll take from you, and then you should leave the decision
Mm-hmm.
up to the user whether they want to offer that data or not.
Okay.
So I feel that this whole security reason is sort of a flawed one. Like I don't think it's going to hold up, and I do feel that TikTok is probably going to be back in I would say like a few weeks, because yeah, like at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day, it's up to the people, right? Like as long as people are okay with offering up their data, or like two different social medias,
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing that anybody can do
Mm-hmm.
about it.
Yeah. And just to add on, like Prashant mentioned, facial recognition, and I guess from that you can do some emotional graphs or semantic associations. That seems to be pretty valuable, yeah. And
Yeah,
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 actually, I was also
yeah.
wondering that I read somewhere that TikTok had its data servers in Singapore, and they were
Hmm.
going to construct a new data center in India itself. So, does that then solve the security problem,
I think it does. So, for
or was
example,
it just part of the?
they just put a data center in Ireland. So, I think that's, like to sort of ascertain any of the GDPR concerns. So, that's what I
Yeah.
feel like, as long as you're trying to make it a legal thing, there will always be a way, around it. Because yeah, like if at the
Hmm.
end of the day, if the people are okay with offering up their data, there isn't a regulation that can really stop it. So all of these are just, I would say it's just to put like roadblocks. So for TikTok to open an Indian entity or a European entity or put their servers in India, it's not going to be a big deal for
Mm-hmm.
them. For a company of that scale now, for example, TikTok just gave 30 crore rupees for the PM Cares like fund as a donation. So for them,
Oh,
setting up
okay.
infrastructure is not really a roadblock. So that's why I feel that
Yeah,
as long as
yeah.
people are not going to be conscious about what data are they sharing, such
Mm-hmm.
companies are still going to exist, and they'll still keep on taking away all of like the data that you have to offer, because that is the game,
Mm-hmm.
right? That is the price you pay for a free app. If the app is free, then they need your data for them to have a business, like to be up and to be running. So that's sort of like how
Yeah, yeah.
TikTok is operating, and I think how every social media out there is operating today. But
Mm-hmm.
TikTok especially, I think it gets like a lot of hate, or and I think that's because of the propaganda that it is a Chinese app, and yeah, so because of that, it's somehow evil, and it has like a malicious intent behind the data that TikTok is taking out of you, as opposed to the data that
Mm-hmm.
your Facebook or Instagram is taking out of you. I feel all of these companies are equally, you know, evil in, if you want to, if you want
Yeah.
to classify it as that, in terms of they are only just concerned about protecting the business interest. I think all of these companies
Mm-hmm.
are like that. Yeah, since TikTok happens to be a Chinese company, I think it gets a little bit of that extra like hate because of the propaganda that's out and about, that things that happen in China is somehow evil.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, uh, but I think it's more for me, like personally, I have like had these debates also with for Twitter, Facebook, also YouTube sometimes, but I
Mm-hmm.
boiled down to the fact that there should be like a really good auditing system of, for
Mm.
example, you should be able to know or give feedback, not give feedback, or just know like what we have with RTI in India, like the oh, um,
Mm.
you need to get the information of how it is being dealt with. And with China, I know that it's like an umbrella concept that there's a Chinese company, hence it's perceived to be quite, yeah, there's an importance given to secrecy because you don't have any power, political power. But yeah, then it boils down to this auditing system. If you have one auditing system, you could find out how these information is being dealt with. Then, yeah. Also, the same thing is happening
Yeah.
with USA, right? You are constantly going to the Congress. They have to testify in front of the representatives, and they need to speak up. And sometimes things are not clear. I'm not saying that's the efficient way of doing it, or
Yeah.
you are still getting answers, but still there is one channel
Yeah.
for doing that. And I can
Mm.
see that with China, it's become more difficult. There's a political angle on top of it. Um,
Mm.
yeah, it's just that if it is banned, saying that it's Chinese, I'm pretty sure that there would be some startups coming out of Delhi, Hyderabad, Bangalore, which are doing the same thing, which will,
Yeah.
yeah, go on creating the
Yeah.
same content with a different name. I mean, why not? They
Yeah.
know
No, for
this
sure.
market is
Yeah.
proven, they know this kind of product works.
Yeah. No, that's
That
already
might also
happening.
happen,
Like, I
right?
think in the Play Store. Yeah. I think in the Play Store, like, there are already a bunch of the clones of TikTok that are out there. It's actually
Oh,
like funny
okay.
because Zoom, which is actually an American company, is also getting a bunch of
Hmm.
the clones, are actually out in the market, and that's because the founder of a Zoom is a Chinese American. So therefore,
Mm-hmm.
he's being also like linked, yeah, to be a Chinese company. So yeah, I think that's already like happening, and people are making like clones. But yeah, I think people should make a product that is good at the end of the day, and that tech is better. I think that's how you innovate, and
Hmm.
that's how I think you make something new. And yeah, like I don't think there should be like a on something that's coming from outside in order to, because to be honest, the real uh, like reason why TikTok and all of the other apps were banned, because is because of the conflict that's happening on the border of India and China. This was a way of showing a retaliation that hey, we this is also something that like we can do. So it was all in a sense like a way to assure the Indian people that hey, there is some action that is being taken. So it's sort of it feels like that because that was sort of the
Hmm.
real, I would say, like reason why it has been banned, because it has only been banned
Hmm.
in India. And if there were actually serious security concerns with TikTok, it would have already been, I would say, banned like in Germany, like of all places. It would have been banned anywhere in
Yeah.
Europe where the GDPR and and the privacy laws are like so much more stricter than India. So if there actually was a
Hmm.
security or a privacy flaw, these countries would have been the first ones to ban it. So the fact that all of these have
Yeah.
not yet done it and India all of a sudden is doing it, it's very obvious that it's not as much to do with security concerns. It's more sort of a way of showing a retaliation, like in relation to what's happening actually on the border.
Hmm. 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 Yeah, but there is, I think, a flip side story as well that uh, because of the corona and not just with softwares but also with hardwares moving around with supply chains all connected to China, there is this
Mm-hmm.
movement of anti-globalization, like, or let me put it this way, more regionalization of producing goods and also
Hmm.
softwares. Because I attended lots of conferences during this time, and they are all talking about these things,
Oh,
localizing,
interesting.
especially goods and services. But nobody's taking action because of,
Yeah.
I believe it's more to do with the power that China has right now, overall,
Yeah.
like holding the supply chain.
Yeah.
They also have a really good,
Got it. Got it.
they can produce things, they can also consume uh, and
Yeah.
supply at a very efficient way. So the other
Yeah.
side of the story was India was being applauded because they took this action of banning
Hmm.
certain applications, and
Hmm.
it would probably lead to having more local companies coming up and providing similar services.
Hmm.
It's like a very typical strategy, right? You ban some of the foreign imports so that your local people are more supported in a way, or they are
Got it.
assured
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
consumers. But
Hmm.
yeah, that was
Yeah. No,
pretty
super
interesting for me to
interesting.
see.
Yeah. No, I think
But
that's
also good to hear
probably
that
a very
what you
interesting
mentioned.
topic. Yeah. No, I think that's probably a very interesting topic to explore in in the next episode, like the advantages and
Yeah.
disadvantages of a globalization and and like localization as a strategy, like what's
Yeah, yeah.
actually going to be the way forward. Because it's right what you mentioned, like we saw an increase in globalization, and I think we are starting to see an inverse of that. So maybe that's a very interesting thing for
Hmm.
us to explore in the next episode.
Yeah, 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 certainly. I mean, there's definitely some theory I read. I would like to see some examples as well. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
definitely worth exploring. I was just checking the
Cool.
time, that's
All
why I
right
said
then.
last question, but we ended up talking anyways.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, but this was also fun, insightful, uh, especially for like me. So I
Yeah.
hopefully also for some people who were like listening in on Instagram Live, but also when it's out in other platforms. So yeah, please give us like your feedback, like your thoughts about
Yes.
all the conversations that we are having, and we'll see you next weekend, same time, probably
On
at a different time,
Sunday.
but around the
Yes.
same time period. All right, take care.
All right.
Bye.
Okay. Bye bye.